Is there a free tool that provides the page and domain relevance for links? I don't know about a free tool, but I use Majestic backlink analysis, majestic.com. They do have a light version. It's only $49 a month. Okay. And I use Majestic because of the topical trust flow metric. That's what matters to me. Google doesn't give a damn about that metric, just to be clear. Just like Google doesn't give a damn about Ahrefs metrics or Moz's metrics or SEMrush's metrics or Majestic's metrics. Majestic's two primary metrics are trust flow and citation flow. Trust flow being a measure of link quality and strength, citation flow being a measure of link quantity. But Majestic has the topical trust flow metric, which is the metric that I use. And that is determining the topical relevance of external backlink profiles. And that is then when I can determine that a backlink is relevant, then the trust flow value becomes important. But if the backlink is not topically relevant or geographically relevant to what it's linking to, then I don't give a damn what the trust flow metric is. It means nothing to me. Now, there's always a caveat that I have to mention here. There's a disclaimer, right? There's a qualifier to that statement, and that is if you are able to get a non-relevant link inserted into an incredibly high authority property, let's use Wikipedia as an example. This is theoretical because it's very unlikely that you could do this. If you were able to hack a link into a Wikipedia page that was non-relevant link, even though Wikipedia has no follow external links, by the way, this is, again, theoretical because that link would be moderated out before you could blink. Wikipedia is really good about that for the most part. But if you were able to hack a non-relevant link into a Wikipedia page, even though it's no follow, and even if it were non-relevant, they would still likely produce a positive effect because of the sheer strength and authority of Wikipedia. But those are very, very unlikely. So that's why I talk about when analyzing like traditional types of links that we, us commoners, us unwashed masses can get on a regular basis. We want to focus on links that provide the most relevance so that we can extract the most value. And that's why I use topical trust flow metric, because that is a really good, it's fairly accurate. It's not 100% perfect, but it's a fairly accurate indicator of what the topical relevance is of external backlinks. And so to answer your question, Majestic is only $49 for the light version, which will give you the relevance metrics that you desire. But you also need to know, what does Google understand about the pages that you're linking to, right? There's two parts to this. There is, first of all, identifying what the topical categories are of the pages that you're going to be linking to. And what I do, and I demonstrate this, by the way, guys, just so you know, in our YouTube channel, if you go to our channel right here and you go to the search function and you search for competitive, if I could spell competitive link analysis. So just search our channel. Again, if I could spell. And it's this one right here, competitive link analysis for local SEO. It's an hour and 8 minutes long. This was extracted from a mastermind webinar where I did full training on exactly, and by the way, in the pinned comment is the Excel file. But this is how I do competitive link analysis, and it uses Majestic and SEO tools for SEO, which is an extension for Excel, and which is, there's a lot of tools in that SEO tools for Excel that are paid tools, but you can add the extension to Excel for free, and then the Majestic SEO extension is free to use, but you have to have a paid Majestic subscription, which is, again, all you need is the light subscription, which is $49. But so that's how you can analyze the backlink profiles and to determine the relevance of the referring pages. So pages where you have backlinks. You can also analyze the backlink profile of whatever target asset or pages you want to look at. But there's two steps to this, and that is to determine what does Google understand about the top ranked pages for the search queries that you want to target. So in other words, if you've got a search query that you're trying to, rank a page for, okay, first go find out, what does Google understand about the topical categories of the top ranked pages for that particular search query. So we do it by the top 5 ranked pages. We look at the top 5 ranked. Remember, Google does not rank websites for search queries. Google ranks web pages for search queries. But a website's authority and strength has a significant influence on a page's ability to rank. So we always want to look at page level metrics first. And so first thing you want to do is look at the top ranked pages for the particular search query that you want to rank for. Then go submit those page URLs at the page level, not the domain level. to Google's natural language API. You can do that through Google's developer console, and you can identify that's a free way to do it. It's a bit cumbersome because it's slow and you got to do it one at a time. I use a tool called On-Page AI to do that, which just integrates with Google's natural language API. It's a quite expensive tool, but I can then go in and quickly identify. Look, I'll just, you know what? Let's just fucking demonstrate this. How about we do that? Did you guys want to see a demonstration? Let me do this real quick. I wasn't going to do training today, but I'll just do this because I think it's important for you guys to understand this. So we're going to use the Louisville Felling Pro project. If I can find it, there it is. And I'll give you a quick example. All right. All right. So, and then, by the way, all of this is covered in this video here, but I'm going to do it live right now just to show you guys. It's not a hard process. Simple. So what I do is first I geolocate the browser for the if it's a local search query that you're analyzing. I want to geolocate the browser for where the GBP is physically located so that I can simulate a local search from that specific location. So one of the ways you can do that is using the Bright Local Search Checker. All right, let me just show you this right here. This is the Bright Local Search Checker. Just search it in Google, you'll find it. Okay, so in this case, I would say let's go search for Louisville, KY, and then whatever search term I want in there. So I could do just the general search query, or I could do the search query with the location modifier. I could do it with near me. I could do it any which way I want. Whatever it is that you want to analyze. So let's just say tree service Louisville is the keyword that I'm searching for with the browser geolocated in Louisville. Then I'm going to click on Google search, check search results. What I'm going to do is open this up. And now if we go take a look at this, you'll see at the bottom of this page, it's showing me that my IP, or according to this, because it just changed the settings, it's showing that I'm searching now from Louisville, Kentucky. Okay, does that make sense? So I geolocated the browser. Then I go in and I pull in the search query. In this case was tree service Louisville. And God damn it, my mouse wheel still broke. I have not got a new mouse and it's been driving me nuts. But you can see these are the top ranked competitor pages. Now I'm going to omit any big directory sites because I want to identify the top ranked local business type sites. Well, remember, they're web pages that are ranking, but I want to identify the local business type websites that have ranking pages for that particular search query. Not Yelp, not Angie, not Lawn Starter, not any of those, because yes, we are competing with them to rank on page one for that search query, but we're not competing with them on a link level, on a link authority level. You will never compete with Yelp on a link authority level with a local business site unless you are spending millions and millions of dollars on links, which nobody's going to do on a local level. Does that make sense? So we'll omit those because that's not a fair comparison. We want to do an apples to apples comparison. So we want to identify the top ranked local business sites that have web pages ranking for this search query to identify what the hell are they doing that Google likes and why is Google rewarding them with top ranking positions. So the way that we do that is go geolocate the browser for the local search query, the same area in which you're looking to analyze the top ranked competitors, perform the search, then extract the top ranking pages for that particular search query, put them into the sheet, which, by the way, this sheet is available to you guys as part of this. It's that pinned comment. Download that Excel file, open it up, make a copy of it, keep the original, make a copy of it, and then assign that to the project that you're analyzing. Okay, then what we do is then we title the sheet after the search query that we use to collect the data. We pull the top ranked competitor page URLs in and put them in the order in which we found them. Okay. Then we go use, again, if I open this up in Excel, I would show, this is in OneDrive, so I can't do it in OneDrive. But if I open it up in Excel, let's just do that real quick. I'll demonstrate it very briefly. Okay, so we'll take the same search query, tree service Louisville, Kentucky. It's the same Excel book, guys, except now I'll close it out from OneDrive and just do it here. Okay. And you'll see we have SEO tools here. This is an extension. Here's the Majestic extension. So if I click on backlinks, then it's going to tell me to log in. And then I've saved a particular setting that I call target URL backlinks. This is all described in that video that I pointed out on our YouTube channel. It's public, guys. We made that public for a reason. So I'm going to select target URL backlinks, select. And then what I would do is then go and we have sheets on each one of these pages, and you'll see one's called competitors. And here's where then I would go clear this data. So I'm going to click clear content. Then I'm going to highlight that first kind of cell. Then I'm going to put the page URL in there, but not just the page URL that is ranking. I'm going to put all 4 versions of the page URL because it's likely that their format of that URL has changed at some point. They added an SSL certificate. They added or removed www, right? So, for example, if we come back over here and we look at tree service Louisville, we're just going to take this first competitor here, and we're going to go, I'm just going to open up my notepad file. And what I always do is change that. And I don't do these anymore unless I'm demonstrating it. But I have VAs that do these for me, all these reports for me, unless, like I said, I'm teaching. But what I'm going to do is create 4 versions of that URL. Now, if it's a subdomain page instead of a page on the root domain, then oftentimes you can omit doing this, maybe just the HTTP and HTTPS versions. But in this case, I'm going to have 4 versions of this URL because it's likely that, especially if this business has been around for a while, that the URL format has changed at some point. And if you're only analyze the backlinks to one specific version of a URL, then you're only getting a partial picture of the true backlink, the full backlink profile, because all you're looking at is the backlinks pointing to that one specific version. So you have to analyze all 4 versions of the page URL, because if the hosting is configured properly, the server, et cetera, is configured properly, then all 4 versions should resolve to whatever the most current version of the URL is, correct? Right? Okay, so in this case, I'm going to take all 4 versions of this URL, paste this in here, go back to my competitors sheet, put my cell there, and the settings are source URL, target URL, anchor text, flag deleted, flag no follow, and that's it. Those 5 check marks. Again, all of this is covered in the YouTube video. And then down here, I changed max results per item for local to 1,000 because it's very rare that we ever see anything with more than 1,000 links. If you think that there is, you can always change that to 10,000, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to click insert. And this is going to go out, and using Majestic, it's going to pull in all the backlinks. I'll zoom in on this a little bit so you guys can see it. What I then do is then I classify this. Okay, so first of all, you can see flag deleted, flag no follows. So I'm going to click to select all. I'm going to go back to data. I'm going to go to sort, and I want to sort with my data has headers, and I want to sort by flag deleted, and I want to do largest to smallest, because if it has a 1 in that that cell under flag deleted, that means it's deleted. If it has a 0, it means it's not deleted. Okay, so I'm going to do largest to smallest, and then I can eliminate these links from my analysis right off the bat, right? Because I know that those are deleted. There's no sense in analyzing those. But then I want to sort by flag no follow, and I want to get rid of them. No follow links are valuable for SEO, guys. Don't let anybody tell you any different. But they don't affect anchor text ratios. So that the anchor text from no follow links do not influence anchor text ratios. So we can delete those as well. Now what we're left with are the remaining links. So there's 38 links that are pointing to that some version of that homepage URL. Is that clear? And then what I do is then I add a column right here next to anchor text that I call anchor type. You don't have to add this into the header, but you can. Okay, and then I'm going to do a couple things here just for formatting issues because I'm anal like this. I'm going to center it. Then I'm also going to change the formatting to a number with no decimals. Okay, so I'm going to remove that formatting to number with 0 decimals. And now this is the anchor type. Then last thing I'm going to do is then sort this data by anchor text first. A to Z, Z to A, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to go through and assign the anchor text types based upon one of 5 anchor text categories, which are referenced in the competitive link analysis sheets. That's these 5 anchor text categories there. The brand/URL is the brand name is the anchor, or the URL is an anchor. Something else that I include in that category is what I call a compound anchor, which is a brand plus a keyword modifier, brand plus a location modifier. As long as the brand is in the anchor text, the brand name is in the anchor text, I consider that a brand anchor. The miscellaneous anchor is another term for that is generic. Click here, learn more, this post, website, etc. Business directory listings are going to give you usually miscellaneous anchors. It's going to say website or something like that, right? Those are miscellaneous. Empty/frame anchor is an iframe or an embed or a redirect or an image backlink without alt text. If the image has alternative text, then the alt text is the anchor text. If it doesn't, that's an empty anchor, okay? A target anchor is unique or specific to local SEO in that it is a keyword plus location modifier. Usually, it's going to be keyword plus city or city plus keyword, or keyword plus near me, or one of the variants of near me. So around me, in my area, nearby, etc. Does that make sense? And then lastly is a topic anchor. A topic anchor is a keyword-only anchor. It's usually a product or service keyword without a location modifier. By the way, where did I get this information? Like this concept, this method? Believe it or not, from Matt Diggity. Matt Diggity has, been an affiliate SEO for as long as I've known of him. But I found this anchor text ratio process or method on his blog that he was talking about for affiliate projects. When you want to rank a page for a keyword, this is what you do. And I said, I wonder if this would work for local. And so I started testing this with local about 3 years ago. And sure enough, it fucking works. And of course it does, because we are averaging out the top ranked pages, the backlink profile for the top ranked pages for the particular search query that we want to rank for. So it gives us the data of the top performers so that we can model that with our own backlink profile, right? We can meet and exceed. We can model it, but just do it better with better, more relevant links. And so again, I learned this from Matt Diggity. I always want to give credit where credit is due. And he doesn't do local. Apparently he's going to be getting into local though. I heard that from somebody recently. But that, I thought I just modified his method to apply to local, and it works. So again, coming back over here, if we come back to the competitor sheet now, like I said, since I described what the 5 anchor text types are, then it's very easy for me to just look at the anchor text and just put a value in this cell based upon that. So this is a brand anchor, right? So I'm going to hit enter. Next one is going to be a miscellaneous anchor, right? So visit website is a miscellaneous anchor. So I can do that. Or once I have a couple of cells with that same value, I can then drag it down to the bottom. Okay, here's another one. This is another brand anchor. This is also, this is what I would consider a brand anchor as well, even though it may be considered miscellaneous because it kind of squeezed together without a domain extension. But I would go ahead and consider that as a brand anchor for now. And so I would drag that down until and there's more brand anchors. Then there's another miscellaneous. There's another brand anchor, right? Brand/URL anchor. So I'd go back and keep adding ones in here. You can see how it's very quick. And most, by the way, guys, most local projects, this is what you'll see. Very few links. So it's not hard. Once you eliminate no follow links and deleted links, like most of the time, you don't have a lot of links left to do this for. So it doesn't take long. And then we'll go down here. This is going to be miscellaneous. Miscellaneous, right? Last thing that I'm going to do then is I'm going to then go back, select all, go to data, sort. Now I'm going to sort by anchor type. Largest to smallest, smallest to largest, doesn't really matter. I usually do smallest to largest. Now that's going to sort those by anchor text type. The last thing that I'll do then is then now I know, because of the number of rows here, that there are 38 links pointing to that some version of the homepage URL. Out of those 38 links, so I would come back over here, and in fact, I can go ahead and update this data now. This is the LouisvilleTreeService.biz domain, which I believe is there. Okay, so this is showing that since the last time this data was analyzed, there's been apparently 5 additional links that have been built to that homepage, right? So we know there's 38 because I just showed that. 39 rows of data with a header row, so there's 38 links, right? All right, so I'm going to come back here. I'm going to update this to 38. Then I'm going to go back to the competitor sheet. Hit tab to move that over. Oops. I'm going to go back to the competitor sheet. All I'm going to do is select the number ones and then highlight them. And then right here, you can see it says count. And it's probably very small on your end, guys, but it says count. There's 25. That means there's 25 cells selected here. So then I can come back here and I can add 25 in the brand/URL category. I'm going to tab over to the next one, which is miscellaneous. I'm going to scroll back to the competitors. Sheet, excuse me. I'm going to scroll down, highlight. Oops. What did I just do? Okay. I'm going to scroll back down and highlight that batch. And it says count 13. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to put 13 in miscellaneous. And then I'm going to go back through and put zeros in for the rest, because that was zeros for each of those other types. And then this last column here is just, I added that column there just to make sure that there was no math errors. I want to make sure that the number of links here, all this last column here is you can see the formula there. It's showing for column whatever D2 plus L2 plus J2 plus F2 plus H2, that should total the same number of links as what you saw, what we posted here. That way you just know in case you made an error in data entry or whatever. Okay, hopefully that's clear. So now what that's done is we have the exact link metrics for the ranking page for that particular search query. And we know exactly which type of anchors they are. We do that same process for the top 5 ranked competitor pages. It gives us the average number of links and the average anchor text ratio, which is what we want to try to model the money site after. Not these other assets, you can be more aggressive with link building because they're high authority assets, Google, Amazon S3, the ID page, etc. But the money site page should have similar kind of anchor text ratios. And by the way, something else, guys, we try not to exceed the average number of links for the top ranked competitors for the specific page for that search query. But Keep in mind, guys, having a higher quantity of links is not a spam signal if the links are relevant. It is a spam signal if you have a higher quantity of links that aren't relevant, because it's clear that you were building links to try to influence ranking, but the links were shit. They weren't relevant, so they weren't working. So you built more links, right? So just understand that it's okay to exceed this average number of links as long as you're building links with relevance. All right. But that brings me back to the last point, which is I just explained how you can use a very inexpensive tool, $49 a month, to identify topical metrics for backlinks or for pages and domains and backlink profiles. Okay. But we also need to identify, what does Google understand about this? So the top ranked pages. So I'm going to close the Majestic thing now. And coming back to the search query that we're analyzing here, I want to know, what does Google understand about these top page URLs that are ranking for this search query, so that I know exactly which topical categories that I need to be getting links from to influence organic ranking. And by the way, it does have a slight influence on maps ranking, but this is more of an organic push than anything. Hopefully that's clear. Topical relevance has more of an influence on organic ranking with a slight influence on maps, or GBP performance in maps. Links with geographic relevance or location relevance have more of an influence on maps ranking and a slight influence on organic. But that's where I use this tool. Now, this tool is not cheap, but you can do this with going to Google's developers console and going to the natural language tool, and then pasting a URL in there, or copying the content from the main content body of the pages that you're analyzing, plugging it in there, and Google will tell you the topical categories. This is just a much easier way to do it, but you have to pay for this tool, and this tool is not cheap. But if we come in here and look at predictive link building, and I'll just go to load and just show you a quick example. If I put in Louisville Felling Pro, essentially what we're doing here, guys, is we pull in the target URL plus the top pages, the ranked pages for that search query. We want to analyze, submit these page URLs to Google so that Google returns the topical categories, natural language categories, that it identified on each of these ranking pages. That's what this is. These are the topical categories, Google's natural language categories, that were identified on these pages. So that's what we consolidate in. Keep looking for it in Chrome, but it's in Excel now. These are the topical categories that were identified by Google. So we consolidate that list and deduplicate it and add it to the specific sheet. So we know when we're going to create a contextual link to place within content, we should tune the content or optimize the content to make sure that it falls within one or a combination of these categories, so that we can achieve 100% page level relevance matching from the contextual link to what it is linking to. Does that make sense? But then we also want to analyze that the referring domain, the potential referring domain that we're considering publishing that post on, to make sure that the referring domain has the primary topical category or theme, right? The overall topical theme of the site in its entirety should be in one or a combination of these topical categories as well, so that we can achieve domain level relevance from that backlink as well as page level relevance. But then we can match up Majestic's topical trust flow categories. It's not the same category structure. It's very similar, but they're not the same. But we can often find topical trust flow categories that align with or match up with Google's natural language categories, right? And by the way, here's a sheet that I created for semantic links that is topical trust flow. It's just TTF for topical trust flow. So ttf.semanticlinks.io. These are all the topical trust flow categories according to Majestic. So what we then do is we collect the topical trust flow categories that match up with or align with Google's natural language categories, so that we can look for potential link sources. I always start looking at the backlink profile of potential link sources first. So I go out 3 levels and I look at the backlink profile to potential link sources to determine, are the backlinks pointing to this potential link source relevant in the relevant categories that I need them to be in, so that when I publish a post on that site, I'm going to instantly benefit from the backlinks that are pointing to that site because they're relevant. Does that make sense? So just last thing I'll show you, and then I know I went way over on this, but I thought this was important. We're going to take that same project and we're going to look up Louisville Felling Pro to show you guys an example of what happens when you get proper links. Okay, so take a look at this, guys, just so you know. We go over here and take a look at the tier 1 link sheet. So these are the links that have been placed for this project, which is a new project. It's a new link building project. I've had this project for 2.5 years, but I really never did much with it. It was a test project. Only recently did I decide to rank the son of a bitch. And so we started building links last month in June, or 2 months ago now in June. And so here are the links that were placed to that asset. And if we go take a look at that, look at the metrics, guys. Look at the relevance matching that we achieve. You guys see that? And if we just go take a look at one, like I told you, we're achieving page level relevance, domain level relevance, and then the backlink profile pointing to the domain, the referring domain, is relevant. Let me demonstrate that. We're going to go over to Majestic. By the way, look at the backlink profile for Majestic, guys. What were the topical categories identified right here as being the ones that should be this project should be optimized for or have backlinks from? Look at this. You guys think I'm hitting the proper relevance metrics? That's a yes, right? So if we go take a look at this site here, right? This is the site that one of those links was published on. That's this one right here. Let's go analyze that real fast, right? We're going to actually look at the overall backlink profile to the entire domain. So we're going to look at root domain. There's 20 referring domains that have backlinks pointing to this. Look at the trust flow value. It's a high value, and it's 100% relevant. 99.98% in one of the topical categories identified here is being relevant. So you can see that I always start by looking at potential link sources by identifying all these metrics first. So we have quantity-based metrics or surface level, page level metrics, which are quantity metrics. Then we get the topical metrics, and then I go hunt down link sources that have relevant link profiles already pointing to them, so that when we go publish a post, we achieve these types of relevance matching and we benefit from the backlinks that are pointing to the referring domain because they're relevant as well. Does that make sense? So that is precisely how you use simple tools to be able to determine what type of metrics you should be hitting, the type of relevance that you should be pushing, at least on the topical level. Geographic is a bit different because you have to literally go, because most of the time geographic links are going to have very poor metrics as far as traditional metrics like no trust flow, which is really the only, and therefore no topical trust flow. You cannot have a topical trust flow value assigned unless it has at least a trust flow value of 1. Then it can have a topical trust flow category assigned. With geographic links, so links with location relevance, they typically are going to be very low quality, not very powerful links, insignificant as far as traditional link equity. But it's the fact that they're local, they're links coming from local sources that makes them significant for ranking GBPs or for helping GBPs perform better in map search. Hopefully that's clear. Okay.